Have you ever caught yourself repeating the same mistakes, even though you know they're wrong? Have you ever promised to change, only to fall back into old habits the next day? The truth is, without self-discipline, we are slaves to our impulses. We are ruled by laziness, by anxiety, or by those who don't value us. But what if I told you there's a silent, powerful, and ancient path, one capable of shaping an unshakable human being even in the face of chaos? Marcus Aurelius, emperor and philosopher, didn't just rule the greatest empire on earth. He ruled himself. In this video, you'll discover 8 Stoic principles to develop true self-discipline. If you want to learn how to master yourself, watch until the end, because this knowledge can set you free forever. You're on the Stoic Sage channel. Let's begin the teachings. Lesson 1. Master your mind or be a slave to circumstances. Marcus Aurelius said, "The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life." The first key to developing true self-discipline lies right here in mastering your inner world. As long as you let uncontrolled emotions, impulses, or distractions dictate your actions, you remain a slave. But when you learn to observe your thoughts, you forge a shield against weakness. Stoicism teaches that you don't control the world, you control how you respond to it. The mind is a battlefield, and those who do not govern their thoughts do not govern their lives. Self-discipline is born when you learn to act from reason, not desire. It's not easy, it's daily training, but every time you choose what's right over what's comfortable, you grow stronger. Self-discipline begins with this choice. Silence the impulse. Listen to reason. Think before you act. Reject instant pleasure. For long-term growth, mastering your mind is like taming a wild horse. It demands steadiness and persistence. But once you do it, you ride toward whatever you desire. The world will remain chaotic, but within you, there will be order, and this inner order grants you power. Power to resist, power to persist, power to endure when others quit, because those who master themselves are invincible. Lesson 2. Don't follow your feelings, follow your principles. The Stoics didn't ignore emotions, they just refused to let them take command. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do what must be done. Do not be distracted by what you feel." Self-discipline is built when you choose to act on values, not fleeting emotions. Feel fear, but act anyway. Feel laziness, but rise anyway. Feel like quitting, but keep going anyway. You don't need to feel like it to do what must be done. This is where most fail. They believe they need constant motivation, but motivation is a flickering flame. Principles are an unshakable fire. Principles are promises you keep to yourself even when no one is watching. A Stoic doesn't ask, "What do I want to do right now?" They ask, "What is the right thing to do right now?" That difference changes everything. Self-discipline emerges when you stop obeying impulses and start obeying reason. Feelings come and go, they shift with moods, fatigue, and ego. But principles, they hold you steady. They keep you firm when everything around you crumbles. If you act only based on feelings, you'll be inconsistent. But if you act on what you believe, you become unbeatable. It's not easy to resist momentary desires. But when you say no to what weakens you, you say yes to what strengthens you. And in that silent yes, self-discipline flourishes. Stoic isn't cold, they're steadfast. Not because they feel less, but because they have learned to feel and not bend. That is true freedom. Lesson 3. Master your mind, or it will master you. The mind is your greatest ally, or your worst enemy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." And he was right. You may have external freedom, but if you're enslaved by your thoughts, you remain imprisoned. This is why self-discipline starts within, not with rules, but with mental vigilance. How many times have you sabotaged yourself with thoughts like, "I can't do this. It's too hard. This won't work." These thoughts, repeated silently, become beliefs, and beliefs shape your actions. But the Stoics taught, you don't have to believe everything you think. You can choose. Choose to question. Choose to dismiss weak thoughts. Choose to feed strong ones. Self-discipline is this: not letting your mind run wild like an untamed horse. It's holding the reins, maintaining focus, and redirecting when necessary. Negative thoughts aren't the problem. The problem is letting them steer your life. When you master your mind, you gain the power to act despite fear, doubt, and anxiety. And that changes everything. A Stoic trains their mind like a warrior sharpens their sword. Every day, they cleanse, polish, and observe. They don't wait for chaos to prepare, they prepare before it comes. That's why when the storm arrives. They're ready. If you want true discipline, start here. Stop feeding thoughts that weaken you. Replace them with those that strengthen you, because in the end, either you command your mind or it commands you. Lesson 4. Do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. The Stoics didn't. Wait to feel motivated. They knew desire is fragile. One day, you wake up energized. The next, you want to stay in bed. But true self-discipline is born when you act even when you don't want to. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you wake up, remember, I was made to work like a human being, not to drag myself, not to complain, but to fulfill my duty." If you only act when you feel like it, you'll live at the mercy of your emotions. But if you act despite how you feel, you become unstoppable. This is the difference between the weak and the strong. The weak wait to feel. The strong simply do. And this isn't about being cold, it's about clarity. Clarity about what matters. Clarity about what needs to be done. Clarity about the person you want to become. How many times have you said, "I know what I need to do, I just don't do it"? That's the root of modern weakness. Knowledge without action. The Stoics taught the opposite. Act first, understand later. Because it's through practice that you shape yourself. It's through effort that you transform. Don't wait for motivation to knock on your door. It's unreliable, but discipline isn't. Discipline is the decision to keep going even when tired, to get up and act even when lazy, to ignore that inner voice that always begs for just 5 more minutes. You want to be free? Then learn this. True freedom lies in doing what's right, not what's easy. Do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Lesson 5. Say no to what weakens you. Not everything that seems harmless is harmless. Some habits, distractions, or people steal your strength without you even noticing. The Stoic must learn to say no, firmly, and without guilt. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts," and your mind is also shaped by the environments you allow. If you surround yourself with complainers, soon you'll be complaining too. If you consume empty content, soon your mind will be hollow. If you give in to easy desires, your self-control deteriorates. The Stoic cuts it at the root. They say no to whatever pulls them away from reason, virtue, and purpose. Saying no isn't rejecting the world, it's protecting your inner world. It's having the courage to choose what builds you, not what distracts you. If you don't learn to say no, you'll always be a slave to others and to your own impulses. The Stoic doesn't run from temptation, they face it with clarity. They know, not all pleasure brings peace, not all pain is bad. Saying no is choosing growth over comfort. It's understanding that every no to the trivial is a yes to your greatness, to your order, to your discipline. You want to grow? Then stop trying to please everyone. Stop yielding because you fear seeming cold. The true Stoic isn't cold, they're steadfast. Steadfast against what sabotages them. Steadfast against what drains their energy. Steadfast against what weakens them. Learn to say no. You might lose some distractions, but you'll gain yourself. Lesson 6. Master your impulses before they master you. One of Stoicism's core pillars is self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." But what does this mean in practice? It means that no matter how chaotic the world is, you always have a choice to react as a slave to impulses or as a master of yourself. The anger that explodes, the anxiety that paralyzes, the fear that holds you back, these are all impulses that are born, grow, and if you don't master them, they take control. The Stoic notices the impulse rising and breathes. They observe, they question, is this necessary? Will this bring me closer to or further from the person I want to be? Self-discipline isn't just resisting desire, it's understanding it. It's knowing that the impulse isn't your true self. It's just a passing shadow. You are not the anger you feel. You are not the craving for instant pleasure. You are the one who chooses what to do with it. If you want to be free, learn to say no to the impulse and yes to reason. When something provokes you, pause. Don't react in the heat. When laziness tempts you to quit, stand up. You're stronger than your tired body. When judgment arises, stay silent. The Stoic is slow to judge and quick to understand. Mastering impulses is the art of leading yourself, and those who lead themselves will never be ruled by anyone else. Lesson 7. Act with consistency even when no one is watching. Marcus Aurelius said, "The true good of man is a certain kind of soulless soul that commands, acts rightly, endures hardship, and remains firm." Self-discipline isn't glamorous. It isn't visible on social media. It happens in silence. Waking early when no one demands it. Keeping your word even if no one remembers. Doing what's right even without immediate results. The weak seek applause. The strong seek integrity. The Stoic doesn't act for approval, they act on principle. Consistency is what shapes character. One day of discipline is easy, a week is admirable. But true strength comes from silent repetition, doing what must be done, even without motivation, even without recognition, even without applause. You transform not through grand public acts, but through small, repeated decisions made in secret. Don't lie to yourself. Don't cheat in the easy moments. Act with resolve, as if the universe is watching, because it is your conscience sees everything. It knows when you hesitate. It feels when you betray your principles, and it celebrates when you conquer another day. Consistency is the hammer that shapes iron. It's what builds trust in yourself. And in the end, this is what separates the weak from the invincible, the ability to keep going, even when no one is watching. If this video spoke to you, like now and subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who needs to reclaim control of their life. Comment below, which principle will you apply today? Remember, knowing isn't enough, you must act. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you can become.